Hello, we are a training institute. We are training students or job aspirants to get to market research or management consulting positions. Unlike software developing or software engineering jobs, these jobs are very lucrative and very career focused. If you search for top 10 hot jobs in any country, these jobs would be the top one of the top 10. And for achieving these jobs, you don't require to do a certain degree or certain PG with your any 3 year or 4 year degree if you have completed or you have done any MBA or any MTech or Pharma, B Pharma, M Pharma, etc. Anything you have done, you are eligible to give an interview. And we are running this consultancy for last 3 years, and we have placed many people. And the course fees is here, and in our view we are making students get CTC benchmark of this range 2.8 to 10 lakhs per annum. It depends on the student skill set. To become a management consultant or a market research analyst, you don't need expert level writing or reading skills. As you are a beginner, you are expected to understand what the other person is talking. You have to get some inputs from the interviews, or you have to talk to some people and get their inputs. You should have good grammatical knowledge, should have decent enough PowerPoint presentation skill, as well as you should have good MS Excel skill set. And most of the jobs right now are PowerPoint based, so you don't need to worry about writing long sentences, paragraphs and paragraphs of content. But you are from arts background or writing background, you can easily become a consultant or analyst. Uh, in the past, if you guys have prepared for bank jobs or UPSC, CAT, MAT, IELTS, CFA, or you have done internship in sales, marketing, HR, or if you know or if you have worked on SWOT or pest analysis, you are almost there. You can give an interview for these positions. To give a quick info about what these positions are, so market research or consulting positions are one of the top-notch jobs in any country. And after having worked for 8 to 12 years, you will be adopted or absorbed into the top leadership level. Like you can become an associate director or director or vice president at different companies. You can work across the board. You can help them with the investment strategies, or you can help them with competitive intelligence, etc., etc. So I am going to give a few examples over here in my third slide. So if you can answer any of these questions, you are almost there at the researcher or consultant position. So the first four questions, which are in white font, are for the ones who are looking for research positions, and the next four questions are for the ones who wants to become a consultant, or they are more they want to think like an entrepreneur. They want to help businesses with their strategic decisions or the challenges, etc. Management consultant usually help businesses solve their problems. There could be 100 different problems, and consultant is the guy who can understand, who can take a few weeks of months of time to understand the problem and provide a solution. And the researchers, on the other hand, are the ones who feed management with a lot of information. So, if they want to understand about, for example, smartphones market in India, or sofas or TV sets market in India. So, you guys, researchers, market researchers, or market research analysts, are the people who would help them with this information, and they'll take their decisions. But in management consulting positions, consultants are expected to give at least three uh, steps or three ways of solving the problem. So there is a slight difference, but anybody who wants to become a consultant from researcher position, it's not very difficult. Like I said, so researchers, these guys would get comparatively lesser pay compared to the consultants, because consultants are the go-to persons for the leadership level people in any business or any company. So that's why they consultants, there are there is a huge expectation for consultants. That's why they are paid more. It's a simple logic. And if you want to solve some of these problems, or if you can, that's something you must consider to join this course. If you are able to solve any of these questions, so there should be an approach. For example, let me start with new smartphones sold in India. So, you have to understand the demographics. You can consider this uh, within India, or you can consider this only for your city. So, you are living in a city of 100,000 people, so you can estimate how many smartphones are sold. So typically, the approach should be, you have to take the entire population, you have to segment out, choose your demographies, like what's the age group you are targeting, like what's the age group would buy a smartphone, and what age groups have monthly income of monthly income of what range, and what sort of mobile phones would they prefer, what's the price points, so etc etc, and what sort of gaming phones or non-gaming phones they are looking at. So you have to understand their usability also for this. So you have to consider various points to achieve the number of smartphones sold in the country. Okay, and you can also uh, consider solving some of the questions, like how many female uh, in India buy blue jeans. Okay, so blue jeans usually, if you see, you don't go to a laptop or Google searching for this information. I'm sure some bits and pieces of information is available on Google, but try to solve it on yourself. Okay, so in this case, you have to estimate. So how many blue jeans are bought by women? So if no, in my view, if you look at if you look at the color choosing pattern of female, I would say 8 out of 10 jeans are blue jeans. So you have to consider, the age groups and their demographies, like what's their, whether they are working or going to school, whether they are homemakers, whether they are, traveling somewhere, etc., etc. You have to split the entire population into different groups, and you have to choose your group and have to, give a percentage to each group, uh, and then find your calculations or numbers. Likewise, so I'm very keen on talking about these questions. If any of you can solve these questions, please put it in the comment box. So, analyzing Tata versus Maruti Suzuki is a good example. So Maruti Suzuki is producing cars at a higher scale than Tata. So how can they compete? So you have to go to their implementing, like designing vehicles, as well as bringing it onto the road. So how many models are they bringing onto the road, and what sort of customer pain points are there? Like if a customer is buying Tata, so typically you can address this with a survey. You can ask, 10, 15 people who are using a Tata or Maruti Suzuki cars. You ask them what are the challenges they are facing, how much of money they are spending on maintenance, repairs, etc., etc. What's their overall satisfaction rate with the service centers, etc., etc. So you have to consider various points to achieve the true competence between these two. Similarly, uh, how do you launch a new smartphone brand in India? So if you want to launch a smartphone brand, what do you need to know? So you need to know the overall smartphone size in India, and then how many private brand smartphones or no brand smartphones are being sold, like smartphones with no brand. Any person can can export it to Indian market and start their sales. So here, you have to understand how many of such varieties are there and what's the movement. Uh, you have to identify some of the markets like tier one markets, tier two markets, etc. And you have to understand your supply chain as well. And what if there are repairs? Are you ensuring anything? So you have to understand this business from various points and have to give a solution. So likewise, you can understand new education, right? Like Byju's kind of a business. So, what sort of revenue opportunity for a new e-education business, if at all they are going to launch in India? What sort of things they can, what sort of businesses they can target? Like in India right now, there is uh, Byju's Whitehead Junior. They are targeting, from KG to PG, like from LKG to post graduation, competitive exams, whatnot, everything. So, if a person wants to start e-education business in India, what should they think about? What sort of revenue opportunities we have in the country? Uh, so think from this perspective, think from the competition perspective, think from what sort of groups are not targeted yet by these companies, and what sort of price points they have, and what sort of quality is missing, or how can you improve the business. Okay, and similarly, many people, in our previous batches, many people are from BA and BSc backgrounds. Some of them are from pharma and engineering backgrounds. Most of them are from MBA background, like 60% of the people are from MBA background. So, but if I look at the graduation stream, it's not technology, it's something else. So for everybody, right? So every industry vertical has the opportunity to, opportunity for management consultants or technology researchers or market researchers. Some of the industries like tourism, hotel management, food and beverages, retail, e-commerce, manufacturing, IT services, or solutions, or hardware companies, or cement factories, or travel agencies. So most of these non-traditional, I mean, some of the non-traditional firms also, like shipping firms, they pay huge money to consultants and researchers. Similarly, defense, space technology, mining. So these are some of the unconventional research areas that have that's not known to many people, and everybody thinks that we are not from technology background, we can't do this research. No, technology research is different and understanding business is different. If you like to stick to smartphones, you can do that. Many companies are offering such course. If you want to stick to only the laptop market, you can do that as well. If you want to research or you want to become a consultant only on the smart homes business or smart streets, smart cities area, you can do that also. Many European companies, including countries like companies from Dubai, Saudi Arabia, they are hiring people, for these skill set. And if you are an architect, BR student, and you want to remain in this area itself, then you can become a consultant in, retail real estate segment only. So things like that, you can choose any of the industry you would where you want to become a consultant. Okay, so next slide is for yes, this is our placement network. So in the last three and a half years, we have trained over 400 people, and we placed 280 of them, which is about 70 percentage, if I am not wrong. And we have offered, not we have offered, we have managed uh, to make them placed for a CTC of 2.8 to 4.7 LPA. and some of the students who are really good with skill set, I mean good with English speaking, writing, and they have very strong skill set. So they have got about 8 to 10 lakhs per annum. And when I say this, skill set doesn't mean uh, big data analytics or strong Power BI skills or strong Tableau skills. If you have moderate enough, or even if you are a beginner with these technologies, you can still crack the interview. But they would only look, recruiters would only look at how good are you with new challenges. Can you solve a new challenge if at all it comes? How do you react to problems? So these are some of the things they look at in you. If you could convince them with your skill set, with your thought process, basically, if you have a business oriented thought process or entrepreneurial skill set, you can definitely crack a salary range like this. And saying that we are not assuring you a placement, this is only the training and guiding skills we are going to offer you. It's not like we are guaranteeing you placement, but we'll try our best to get you placed. We do a lot of we do give a lot of assignments. We conduct mock interviews to fine tune your skill set to make your job ready. If at all there is an interview, have your friends who will help you, or you can you can reach out to the group as well to solve your challenges. And your placement, yes, our placement network has around 80 plus people, and we do give uh, job support through references, but that will only happen for a very less number of times. So, there is, example, if the batch size is 100, we can give reference to only 10 people or 15 people in maximum cases, because references are very less within our network right now. But what we give is we give you HR emails. Most of these jobs you don't find in any of the job portals elsewhere, and these emails we provide you, and we provide you clear job description and how to speak, what to do with the interview, etc., etc. is already been trained to you. So but if you have any challenges with any of with any of the interviews or any of the job process, then you can reach out to us. And these jobs are usually yes, most of these jobs are not usually posted on LinkedIn or in any portal like Naukri or Shine.com, but we dig out, we give you such, we find such job opportunities which are not seen by anybody else. Also, we will help you in fine tuning your CV or resume. Okay, but you need to give a lot of effort on addressing the assignments. There will be some writing work. There will be, there will be work around financial research. There will be work around market research, etc., etc. So if you are a fresher, if you are a fresher, you can consider many different jobs, and if you see the new jobs for freshers are only this, like for AWS, Big Data, Azure, you have around 2.5 to 3,000 new jobs, but for market research or consulting, you have around 5,000 job vacancies for freshers, and even big data, sorry, digital marketing also has like 6,000 jobs for freshers, but their salaries are very less to start with. And some of the job titles are this. These are some of the job titles. So for each job title, you have a skill set that is required, moderately skilled or strongly skilled, etc., like that. And yes, for quantitative, if you want to move to analytics or data science, if you have decent enough skill set with Excel, Power BI, SQL, or Tableau, you can consider this. So some of the examples are like Mintra wants to understand. a customer wants to do customer survey, it's a B2C company, so you have at least millions or lakhs of surveys being submitted. You have to analyze all of them. It's it you can uh, call it machine learning, textile analytics, something, but mostly they have their own tools. In most cases, they use different tools. But in B2B, uh, B2B, you don't require to do this kind of huge analysis. Hardly sample size is below 200 for B2B, and within the job environment, 60 to 70 percentage of the jobs are uh, aiming at B2B surveys, not B2C. And research analyst is one of the good roles, so you can become research analyst, but you should have strong writing skills. If you guys are from arts background or writing background or engineering background, you can consider research analyst, especially the ones who are interested in cloud, IT research, etc., etc. You can join this. And as I explained, strategy analyst is more inclined towards management consulting. And yes, so one good example is how can Amazon compete with Mintra in clothing business? Okay, this is one example you can consider addressing this, and some of the positions are prospect researcher or financial or equity analyst or associate consultant. These roles are mostly uh, uh, towards various things. For example, financial and equity research. So you can you can do a lot of analysis on balance sheet or annual reports or companies financial ratios, etc., and you have to make a decision. So, for example, if a company A is going to acquire company B, so you are expected to do the financial part of it, or you can become an equity analyst. You can analyze the stock market. You can do that also, or you can work with a venture capitalist firm. So those guys want to understand the revenues, estimated revenues of companies, or they will have their own tool wherein you have to do financial research. So similarly, prospect research is for sales or marketing related people. They should also have these market research skills. Business research is very much aligned to market research position, what I have mentioned already. And associate consultant is a starting step of management consulting position. Salaries will be very high for this. Uh, Going forward, you can become cloud architect, or you can move to pre-sales or big roles like that. And next one is, yes, if you look at the number of companies, there are over 2,300 companies that are hiring market researchers or consultants in India. These companies are located in many places. For example, Pune, Mumbai, Gurgaon are the big hubs for market researchers or consultants, followed by Bangalore and Hyderabad. Also, Bangalore and Hyderabad also has huge number of vacancies, especially in Hyderabad, Global Data, SG Analytics, S&P, uh, Vuram, as well as IHS, Deloitte. These companies are hiring in Hyderabad. Similarly, in Bangalore, you have many companies like Kantar, Ipsos, GFK, Nielsen, big four companies like Deloitte, EY, PwC, KPMG are there. And in Pune and Gurgaon, there are huge number of startups are there. Startups, as in their workforce ranges between 70 to 200, and they have at least 50 vacancies, new vacancies every every 6 months. So that huge the market is. So don't worry about getting selected into a job, etc., etc. You will get a job for sure, but the only thing is you have to like the job. Okay, so yes, on top of what I have already mentioned, some of the things I did not mention earlier were you can, domains like telecom, manufacturing, oil and gas, healthcare, pharma, aerospace, HR, human resources, tourism, banking, financial services, sports, power, infrastructure, okay, F&B, supply chain, automotive, transportation, these as well as IT. So these verticals also has huge demand for market researchers and consultants. And if you like any of these profiles or any of these industries, you can aim at only those companies, and you can easily get into the job. If you could not, at least try to get a job, work as a researcher for some time, at least 1 to 2 years. After that, you can pick which industry you want to go to, and then you can try to get into those industries, and it will be very fun. Example, if you are a sports person, you can become a sports analyst. And if you are from triple E background, you like electricity, etc. things, so you can become a consultant or a researcher in power. Similarly, if you are MBA HR, you can become a consultant in HR. Especially, a company A wants to start their workforce in country like India, you should be able to help them with what sort of skill set, I mean, what sort of people they can hire, and which locations they can start their own company, or they can start their own branch, and what's the location strategy, what is the salary range they can offer, and whom should they approach to if they want to hire this particular talent, etc., etc. It will be mostly on that perspective, hiring perspective, or expanding their workforce perspective. And there are many companies, many big companies are doing HR research in India. It's a very big market. And similarly, oil and gas, this is again a huge market right now, especially if you can explain me or put in the comment regarding the uh, oil and gas crisis which is there in Europe right now, which is driven by the Russia-Ukraine war. Put a short note of 100 words or 150 words explaining how the situation is, or how worse the situation can be, what could be an alternative. You were good enough, you were already there to get the job. Similarly, if you are automotive guy, you like cars, you like sports cars, you like automotive technology, you read a lot about automotive, then many companies are there in automotive. Every company has automotive domain in India. Similarly, automotive plus transportation goes hand in hand. And the countries, I mean, you become a management consultant or a researcher, you can move to any country in the world to work there. I'm not sure about visa and all, but you will get your, uh, you know, uh, you will get your opportunity to work there.